name is Mr. Kavalakis. I'm the Secretary General of Private Investments, of Strategic Investments and PPPs in the Ministry of Development and Investments in Greece. Today, I'm very happy. We're going to speak about PPPs in Greece. We're going to speak about PPPs as a major growth driver, our pipeline, our goals, and where we stand. So PPPs are defined as a long-term contract between public authority and a private partner, ensuring optimal risk sharing between the two partners. PPPs in Greece encompassing both user pay and government pay projects. The competent unit for PPPs in Greece is the General Secretariat for Private Investments and PPPs. The PPP unit works as a gatekeeper and advisor to the Ministerial Committee of PPPs and the source of technical support for the procurement authorities. We have a strategic selection of PPPs project by means of their approval by the Ministerial Committee for PPPs, clear and open tender and selection procedures, predetermined time and cost for all implementing PPP projects by means of effective contract provisions, and of course a fast-track and centralized licensing process. We see PPPs as a tool to deliver public infrastructure projects by mobilizing and catalyzing private sector investment and delivering better value for money for the public sector and the citizens. We have very innovative ways of financing PPP projects with EU grants, EIB funding, and funds from Jessica, leading in the blending of EU grants and private capital financing of PPP schemes, according to a study by the REGI Committee of the European Parliament. The financing blend, as you can see, ensures both the bankability and economic viability of the projects and the most appropriate to PPPs financing risk allocation between the public and the private sectors. We have a strong track record of successfully designing and delivering PPPs in terms of on-time, within-budget delivery of high-quality assets. Greece was ranked second worldwide among 140 countries in the field of procurement of PPPs, according to the World Bank 2020 Benchmarking Infrastructure Development Report, and second worldwide among 81 countries, according to Global Infrastructure Hub. So the Greek PPP portfolio right now consists of 57 projects with a development cost of 7 billion euros. The implementation in various sectors such as waste management, water resources management, social and transport infra, urban regeneration and energy efficiency, digitalization and social infrastructure, which is one of the major sectors with 21 projects and a total development cost of 1.85 billion euros. Waste management sector, of course, is the sector with the most signed PPP contracts, as 5 waste management projects have already been signed and are fully operational. We have 14 projects which are already signed and 43 are currently under tender process, in total 57. In 6 out of the 43, we have already announced the preferred bidder and the estimations to be signed over the next 6 months. 83 of the projects are percent of the projects are availability payment and 17 are concession type. The basic assumptions of our portfolio is equity IRR from 8 to 12%, leverage 70% long-term facility, tenure 17 to 20 years, interest rate margin 3.5 to 4.5%, and average debt service cover ratio of 1.2 per annum, with an average project life from 27 to 30 years, including the construction period. So since 2009, we have 14 projects of approximately 822 million, which spans out over several sectors, including education, waste management, ICT, and broadband internet, which all of them have successfully reached financial close in Greece, and all are now operational, all met with success as regards both their on time and within budget delivery. The critical success factors are the competitive tendering in a favorable investment environment, economic viability of the projects, and appropriate risk allocation via reliable contractual arrangements. What is most important, though, is the strong pipeline of PPP projects that are under procurement all would be tendered in the near future. 43 projects of approximately 6.2 billion development costs have been approved by the Interministerial Committee in a variety of sectors such as roads, student accommodation, waste, transport, waste, water and energy efficiency projects. The government buildings PPP, the public accommodation, is one of the most active sectors with an investment cost more than €500 million. We have vital projects for Greece as the 13 regional civil protection buildings project, which is under procurement. The buildings for courthouses constitute another new sector in Greece. We have 4 such projects approved, and one of them is in a region of Central Macedonia, which is currently being procured, and the other three are expected to be procured by the end of the year. It's very important education infrastructure PPP projects, which are traditional, very typical PPP projects. We have 2 very successful operational projects in Greece and in the region of Attica. We have approved by interministerial committees of PPPs 4 student accommodation infrastructure projects of the 4 largest universities in Greece. The projects are expected to contribute to a significant rise in their educational outcomes, as well as in their visibility internationally, thanks to the increased dynamic. We have schools infrastructure, 4 such projects approved, located in 4 different regions of Greece, the first 2 in Crete and Central Macedonia, and a special mention is due to the 4th one, a school sports science facility complex in Kozani, which is one of the Greece's transition areas. The waste and water management PPP projects in Greece constitute a market of more than €1 billion. Already are a significant number of operational waste management PPP projects in Greece. We have 5 more new waste management PPP projects approved, 2 located in the region of Attica, 2 located in 2 of Greece's most touristic islands, the 5th one in the region of Central Macedonia, and another one is coming through the Interministerial Committee this month. The water management PPP projects are a relatively new sector in Greece, however a very active one. 8 such projects are approved and covering a large part of Greece. The transport now PPP projects constitute another large part of the Greek PPP market. 5 such projects approved, 3 of them expected to reach financial close within the next months, as the procurement has recently been concluded, and 2 are now under procurement. So, what we have developed actually is a national strategy for PPPs. We set them out the main objective of PPPs in Greece and the strategic context of the implementation of PPP projects that are about to change Greece. The strategic plan for the use of PPPs across sectors with a view to identifying and developing a credible forward-looking PPP project pipeline within a context of a proactive approach to targeting new projects. We have discussion with stakeholders on projects that will be submitted for approval in the near future in sectors including waste, energy efficiency, irrigation, public accommodation, transport and health. Projects in the waste, public accommodation and transport sectors are among the first that will be approved within the next months, with a view to expand the use of PPPs in new sectors in which new infrastructure is urgently needed. It's the intention of the Greek government to help provide efficient and high-quality project preparation for all projects. This is the mandate of a bespoke Greek PPP project preparation facility, which we envisioned and are implemented now with EBRD support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kavalakis. I'm now honored to present His Excellency Mr. Theodore Skylakakis, who is alternate Minister of Finance of Greece.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I am alternate Minister of Finance, but also responsible for the implementation of the Recovery and Resilience Fund in Greece, which is a very important part of our future in the next 4 years. Now, thus I will talk to you mostly about the Recovery Fund, as we call it, or Greece 2.0, as we call it in Greece. And I will start by the history of the plan. Greece's National Recovery and Resilience Plan was the second national plan to be submitted and the third to be endorsed by the European Commission. Greece is today at the forefront of the implementation of the plan among our other European partners, and we have already received 7.5 billion euros from this facility, which are in our coffers and are being spent. Adding, and this is happening in these days, in these few weeks, the second payment request, which has already been approved by the European Commission. We expect to have another 3.8 billion, thus the total amount by January that we will have received through this facility goes to 11 billion euros, 11.08 to be exact. Greece is the fourth country to have applied for the second payment, and we are the only country to have applied for part of the third payment as well, as in the loan facility, which is a big part of our plan. The implementation has by far exceeded expectations. Now, our plan, the Greece 2000 plan, includes 106 investments and 68 reforms that are meticulously described and costed in the 4,000 something pages of our 30 billion plan. And it has 17.4 billion euros in grants and 12.7 billion euros in loans with which we aim to mobilize a total of 60 billion euros of investments in the country over the next 4 years. This will permanently increase our GDP by 7 points and also create about 200,000 new jobs when it is finished. It is a plan that aims to lead to a fundamental economic and social transformation of the country, having a catalytic effect on economic activity, technologies, institutions, but also attitudes. The most innovative part of the Greek plan is its unprecedented mobilization of private funds. This is something that I want you to pay attention because it is something totally new in terms of European facilities. Out of the 60 billion euros that we expect to mobilize through our plan, 45 billion euros will be private investment. 45 billion euros. By orders of magnitude, far exceeds any European or national investment program ever implemented in Greece in the past. We never had this amount of private investment that will be mobilized by a European facility. Never. And in the first 14 months of the implementation of the plan, this mobilization is actually happening. It's not just a plan, now it's a reality. I will give you the numbers. In the loan facility, we have already exceeded in terms of investment plan applications 9.5 billion euros. These are private investment plan applications, 9.5 billion euros. And out of them, 2 billion euros have already been approved and the relevant loans contracted to the private investors. And we expect the rest of the 7.5 billion euros to be contracted by the next 4 months. Thus, by the first quarter of 2023, we would have 9.5 billion euros of private investment actually mobilized and the relevant contracts between banks, the Greek state, and the investors signed. 9.5 billion euros. And these are not financial investments. These are brick and mortar investments. There are investments happening on the ground. We also have another 2 billion euros of investment plans that are mobilized through the grant facility, which have also been presented through various investment programs. We have a lot more programs coming, and some of them have already started to be implemented. About 500 million euros have already started through our investment clawback facility that is used by pharmaceutical companies, and the rest are expected to start within the next 3 months. Thus, in terms of mobilization of the private investment, which is the biggest part and the most ambitious part of the plan, we are ahead of schedule, while in the past months we are also moving forward with the public investment part. We have hundreds of public tenders that have started or are expected to start in the next 4 months as we're preparing for our next payment request. Also the plan, and this is very important, has a great number of investments, is a very investment-rich plan. This is something new in terms of European funds. European funds were giving money. Now in the Recovery and Resilience Fund, they are giving money, but also promoting investments connected with this money. And we have a very rich, in terms of investments, national plan, 68 investments. These investments are front-loaded in the plan, so most of them were part of our milestones that have been already implemented in the next 1.5 years of the plan. I have to tell you that the European Commission is excruciatingly careful in the examination of these investments, so that they are very specific, or of these reforms, so that they are very specific, and they are substantial in nature, and they are implemented not only in terms of the relevant laws, but also in terms of their functional success. So the Commission is very, very careful, not only for our reforms, but also for every reform in Europe. And we are very happy that we have completed successfully all the milestones related to reforms. And we also intend to add new reforms to our plan, not existing today in our plan, when the revision of the plan will be presented to the Commission and the Council in the next few months. So, as I have described, the plan goes well, but we know very well that the road ahead is still full of difficulties and hurdles, because the successful implementation of the hundreds of public tenders in the grants part is not to be taken for granted. It will be a unique challenge, both for the Greek bureaucracy and the private sector, in terms of the sheer volume of the public investment that have to be implemented. I have to tell you that in our budget next year, 2023, we have more than double public investment than before 2019. We have 12 billion of public investment within our budget for 2023, without the loan facility. This is unprecedented. It is over the amount that we had before the crisis years, and the difficulty will be also for the private sector to be able to implement all these public investments, apart from the bureaucracy being able to successfully finish the tenders and look after the implementation. we also must maintain the momentum of the private investment in the next years, which means also maintaining the momentum of the reform agenda in the next 4 years after what I believe will be a successful national election in the first half of 2023. Only under these conditions, I believe that these huge funds, greater per capita than any other European country, will be able to achieve their ultimate purpose, which is to make life better for every citizen of our country. Investments that are also, and this I must emphasize, quality investments, because they, by definition or by design to be exact, they go for the green and digital transformation of the economy. They also go for the change of our productive model towards extrovert and more green and digital reality. Our ultimate goal being not only to achieve a robust economic recovery, but to enter in a stable course of high growth and change of a permanent change of our production model. The challenge in this vehicle is historic and the opportunity is unique. But I firmly believe that we will be able to achieve it because we have a good plan. This, or I might dare to say an excellent plan. This plan is going to move a lot of private money into the country. These private money are going to go in going in very productive and important private investments apart from the public investments. And this huge investment, let's say, wave that is coming is going to keep our economy out of recession in 2023. It's going to change the way the Greek economy works, because many of these investments are from important companies, international companies, and it's going to also change the attitudes in the country. In democracies, the attitudes of people change to the better when the democracies achieve economic success. Economic success is very important for political success as well. And when you create a new wave of investment in a country, then you can bet that this country is going to be in a much better position for the years to come. Thank you.